Hey, what's up, everybody? So, I have to go to work, so it's not a lot going on today. Just work and choir. So, that I can't film at work. So, you'll probably just see me at choir, maybe a little bit before choir when I'm at home. I'm gonna maybe do some vocal warm ups. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but the video might be up late. So, yeah, there's that. Just made it home to this. So I get in the house, and I was just talking about all the trash. Now this bugs me to no end. That there's like two schools in between my house. So the neighborhood kids walk to school, and they're loud, and they drop all sorts of garbage all over my lawn. Even one day, they not even one day. They drop their garbage in my bushes all the time, and my bushes are right underneath my window, right next to my door. One time, they rang my doorbell and started banging on my door, and they had stuffed trash all in my storm door. What is with these kids? They getting on my nerves. I don't have no kids. I want to whip somebody's kid, but I can't because I'll go to jail. This is driving me crazy. So this bugs me to no end. I get this letter. It's in my it's stuffed into my door, my storm door, from the township where I live. Talking about take pride, paint up, clean up, fix up your neighborhood, and fix up your property. How am I supposed to do that when other people's kids are tearing down my property? Like, seriously. Like, Halloween, people weren't watching their kids, and a bunch of kids was in my backyard hanging out on top of my broke down Beetle. And I had to call the cops. And then when I called the cops just drove past with a big light, scared them away. Once the cops drove away, then they came back and started banging on all my windows, and I was home all by myself. I'm so sick and tired of these people's kids. Like, seriously. But anyway, on another note, we got a cat. Bathsheba, she's happy I'm home. You happy I'm home? Yeah? You thirsty? Let me show you something funny. This is hilarious. So normally her water dispenser is all the way in the back near the giant gaping hole. She pushed it while I was at work all the way into the front part of the house to let me know I am out of water. Do better, Mommy. Do better. Do better? Want me to do better? Yeah, okay. Hey, everybody. That was not an appropriate song for right now. So, this video is going to be kind of late. Today's video is going to be kind of late because I had to work a lot. And then when I got home from work, I had to eat real quick before choir. I'm on my way to choir right now. I'm running late, like always. So yeah, I'm just gonna video while I drive. And also try not to have an accident. So, let's go. So, I say so a lot, I know. I'm on my way to choir, and I was thinking about, and I wanted to talk about how, I don't know, maybe it's just a coincidence, but I think it's not. How if God wants you to do something, if He wants you in a spot, He makes sure you're in that spot. So what I was thinking about, so my history with choir, I've always loved singing. I've always aspired to be a singer. And I've taken private voice lessons since I was 12 years old. I've taken classical voice lessons. I went to college and did classical voice. I didn't finish, but I went to college and did classical voice for a long time. And the weird thing about me is that I've always been pushed out of the choir at my own church. Growing up at my own church, the story basically goes, the short version is that when I was younger, in my teens and early 20s, every time I tried to join the choir, I was told I couldn't be a part of the choir. When I was in my teens and when I was younger, great at train. When I was younger, It started out, I would come to rehearsal, and I would show up at rehearsal, and they would say, oh, we're going to change the date of rehearsal, so don't come to rehearsal next Wednesday or next Tuesday or whatever day it was. I can't remember what day it was back then. They would say, don't come, unless we call you to come, because we don't know what day we're going to change rehearsal to. And then one of my cousins, my cousin Michael, would call me and be like, hey, we're having rehearsal tonight, you coming? And I'm like, oh, I thought they said they wasn't having rehearsal. And he's like, what are you talking about? And so I would show up to the rehearsal, and the people who were running the choir would be like, what are you doing here? We told you not to come unless we called you. And basically that went on over and over again. I kept being told by my cousin about the rehearsal. And, basically eventually, after I kind of picked up on they were trying to tell me not to just come to choir in general, I got an email telling me that I couldn't be a part of the choir because God, prophesied to them, who could be in the choir, and that God didn't want me in the choir. And that hurt me. That hurt me a lot. And to this day, it still hurts me, but I try to get over that hurt and let go of that hurt, because you can't hold on to stuff like that. You can't let people have that type of hold over you like that. So the weird thing about the choir now, I'm in the choir now. And when a lot of people started leaving the choir because of those same people, and a lot of uproar and stuff started happening in the choir got really, really empty, and people kept eventually begging me to join the choir, and I just kept saying no, because I didn't feel like I was wanted there. And I've been going to this church my entire life, but there's a lot of places in my church that I don't feel like I'm wanted. And I guess we'll get into that another time. But I just didn't feel like I was wanted. And for years and years and years, I was just like, I'll sing on my own. I'll sing at my, in the choir at my school. I'll sing anywhere else but that church, because they don't want me. So finally, my parents joined the choir. And my dad likes to sing. My mom's not a big singer. But she likes to sing, but she, she's let people put her down and tell her she wasn't a good singer, so she's not big on it. But she joined too. People was begging people to join the choir. They was like, we need more people in the choir. So my mom even got in the choir. She used to be in the choir when she was a little girl, and so she got in the choir. And my parents started begging me to join the choir, and I had other cousins begging me to join the choir. And so I kept telling them no. And then I have 2 jobs. I always say that. So my big excuse was, well, I can't go to choir because I have to work. And I was just like, I can't do it because I have 2 jobs. Sorry. And eventually, one day, people kept begging me to join the choir. I wasn't in school anymore, so I wasn't doing much singing in school anymore. All my friends that I did music with, they kind of disappeared a little bit. And I just didn't have anybody to sing with anymore, no place to sing at anymore. And I really miss singing. And I'm a Christian, and I really miss singing Christian music. I really, I love singing Christian music. And I, love singing music that pertains to the life I'm trying to lead. And so one day I just said a prayer to God, and I was like, so this is the thing, if you want me to be in the choir, make it so I don't have to work on Tuesdays, and if I don't have to work on Tuesdays, I can go to choir rehearsal. And if you never have it so I have to work on Tuesdays, and I'll always go to choir rehearsal. Every Tuesday that I'm free, I'll go to choir rehearsal. I said that prayer a year ago. And what happened was, I stopped working on Tuesdays at one of my jobs because my other job told me they needed me on Tuesdays in the afternoon. And I stopped working. I told, the other job, my availability isn't open anymore on Tuesdays. And the other job that I work at, they told me they needed me Tuesday evenings. And then all of a sudden it changed, and they only scheduled me Tuesday morning to afternoon, just at 2:30 or 3. I'll get out 2:30 or 3, and I'm at least 3 hours to get to choir rehearsal. And that's been going on for a year. They have never scheduled me on a Tuesday evening for an entire year. And yeah, And I remember the first rehearsal I went to, I didn't even like change my availability at my one job, and they had started not scheduling me on Tuesdays. So since I wasn't really getting scheduled on Tuesdays, I felt like, well, they wouldn't really miss me all that much. And so that's when I told them, you know, my availability isn't open, so I could work evenings at my other job. But for some weird reason, I never get scheduled at my other job on Tuesday evenings anymore. And it's been going on for more than a year now, actually. And I feel like maybe this God wants me to be in the choir. A lot of people say maybe that's a coincidence, but an entire year of a coincidence? It's like, wow. So I'm in the choir. I've been in the choir for a year. I'm in the choir at a place where I've always felt like I wasn't wanted. And I feel like God is telling me He wants me there. And I still sometimes get this vibe that some people don't want me there. But I feel like if God wants me there, that's where I'm supposed to be. So, yeah, that's all. So, the next thing you'll be seeing is basically probably a little bit of choir rehearsal. And then I'm going to try to upload this video so I can get in before it's like midnight. Because it takes forever to upload. And I'm videoing from my phone. So, talk to you later. See you at choir rehearsal.
His blood still works. His blood still works.
There's a mic still works.
Tenors. What's tenors? It still works.
Do that one more time.
It still works.
The
blood, Jesus shed still.
that part. The blood Jesus shed still. His blood still works. All right? That's right. It still works, everybody.
So it still works. It's always in 3 parts.
Here we go. It's still ready.
Let's go back from it still works. Sopranos.
So, big part. Ready and 1, 2, 3, ready.
It still works. It still works.
The blood.
That's right, that's right. Let's try one more time. 1, 2, 3, ready, and the blood, Jesus shed still. That's good, Tanner. Good. Alto, sing with me.